Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be telling you about how you have commitment issues. So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves. Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, and today I'm going to be talking about how you have commitment issues, and therefore at the end of this episode I'm going to ask you to commit to something that you are committed to empower your child with. So what brings about this episode? Once again, we're in the middle of a pandemic, COVID-19, coronavirus, you name it, whatever you want to call it. I call it the rona. And right now, I am growing the rona beard. I've never grown a beard before in my entire life. And the reason I wanted to come up with this episode, because I had to Google. For those of you who don't know, I've written the book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had. Chapter 1, I talk about educate yourself as a parent. If you don't know something, Google it. And I've never grown a beard. Growing up without a father, I had to teach myself how to shave. Laughingly, jokingly, humorous, whatever you want to call it. Many years went by where I used to kind of dry shave. I would shave in the sink. Sometimes after a shower, sometimes I just throw some shaving cream on. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I would get that razor burn. Why? Because I didn't know to take a shower and a warm shower and open up the pores. Now I just, shave in the shower because it's just easier. But I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And there was no way I was going to try to grow a beard because, you know what? I don't know what the heck I was doing there either. I'd have to groom it. I'd have to trim it. I'd have to do something, and I'd have to learn something. More importantly than I have to learn something, I have to teach myself something that I don't know. It reminded me of growing up without a dad, the thought of growing a beard. So now that we're in the Rona's around, and she's making us do things we've never done before, I decided to grow a beard. It's all white. If you guys are watching here on YouTube, you see it. If you're just listening on the podcast, I figure this. It is, as of the recording, which this will drop in a week or two. As of the recording, this is April 14th, and I am 14 days into growing this thing, and I figure if nothing else works out for me, listen to this, if nothing else, my coaching business folds, parents are crazy and nobody wants to listen to this anymore, I get no income anywhere else, least I can do, hopefully a mall somewhere will be open up, or at least people will still want pictures with Santa. I will have a full-grown Santa beard by December. So I told you I'm going to ask you to, by the end of this, empower yourself by committing to teaching your kid something that you struggled with when you were a child, something that you wished your parents had taught you because you didn't know what to do. And again, I had to go and Google this. I had to check it out on YouTube, how to grow a beard. And I learned so much this week about beards. I learned that you can, first of all, the guy suggested that I really liked, grow it out for at least a month. And I just shared this with somebody earlier today. They're like, oh man, better you grow a beard than I, because it all comes in patches. The first thing this particular YouTuber said was grow it out for like a month. Let it get nice and thick. You're going to think it's growing in patches, but those patches will fill in with the other hair and it'll look fuller. Well, it's 14 days. I've already had to do a little trim. Then he described where the trim lines should be and where underneath the neck you should be trimming. You don't want it all going all down your neck and looking all scraggly. And then he shared that there's things such as oils for your beard, different trimming tools for your beard. There was something else, but I ended up buying an entire beard kit. Look, I'm 44 years old. I have 2 boys. I obviously, not knowing or being taught, when I taught myself how to shave, there was no YouTube videos. So I didn't have the ability to just go online and say, oh, show me a tutorial on how to do this. Fortunately, my kids will have that. But more importantly than having YouTube, they will have their dad. And I am going to empower them with how to shave, how to best treat your face, how to use aftershave, all of the stuff that I had to wing and learn on my own because there wasn't anybody there, and I had too much pride, right, to maybe ask a friend who had a dad. But why am I sharing this? You know, we're in a pandemic. We have the opportunity to get closer to our children. We have an opportunity to learn something new that we can hopefully pass on to our children. And what does that look like for you? If you're a mom listening right now and you're like, wow, I wish somebody had talked to me about boom, 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 XYZ. I wish somebody had talked to me, dads, about money. I wish somebody would have shown me how to fix or repair a lawnmower or build a shelf or put that stinking IKEA furniture together. Just so you know, there's quite a few IKEA furniture pieces that my son and I have put together, and he's gonna sit there and attack that stuff because he's experienced it and be like, Dad, why does everybody complain about IKEA furniture? Because nobody taught them how to put it together. Nobody gave them the confidence. Nobody sat there and showed them. They weren't witness to those crazy directions. But those things in life for him are going to become easy. Dad, how come nobody really cooks? I mean, we always cook at the house. Those are the things that I'm excited, that I know he's going to be empowered to do. Having conversations around money and finances and interest rates, investments, the stock market. These are things we can empower our children with if we don't already know them. These are things I understand as your host of this podcast. But what is it that you have knowledge in, maybe even expertise in, that you get to pass down to your children? You know, I'm going to share. I was watching a video the other day. I'm a big football fan. Dads, you're listening, you'll probably know who Russell Wilson is. If you don't know who Russell Wilson is, he is a MVP quarterback, one of the highest paid NFL quarterbacks. I think he's number 1 possibly right now, but that'll change shortly at the next contract. And they're supposed to be training right now. And there was a video in this COVID-19 where he's probably got like a 6-year-old son. He's an NFL quarterback, won Super Bowls. What do you think he and his son are doing in this video? They're throwing footballs. This is what he does best on this planet. He's an athlete. He's passed his knowledge down to his 6-year-old. It's what he knows. It's what he teaches. Whatever you know, teach it. My mom can type her ass off. She did data entry for years. She learned 10 key at a young age. She learned a typewriter. Typewriter. Keyword there, typewriter. Not a word processor or a computer. She learned on a typewriter. And when I was in high school, she told me, I don't care what you do. I don't care what sports you play. I don't care. If you don't take any other class seriously, I want you to learn to type, because it's a skill you will use and utilize the rest of your life, because the world, and it was already there, is turning towards computers. There isn't anything that doesn't have a computer. Even our phone, even though they're voice activated now, it's still a keyboard. And where you know where those letters are without looking, it benefits me when I'm typing emails and responding to clients. I learned how to type efficiently in 10th grade. Didn't use it again until I got to college. But when I got to college and I was writing term papers, guess what? All my buddies were sitting there pecking like birds, and I'm over there just typing away. And I'm like, where'd you learn how to do that? And I proudly smiled. I was like, my mom made me take typing. She said I would need it and utilize it the rest of my life. Her knowledge in that area, she passed on to me. She didn't do it directly, but she did it. She impressed upon me the importance of that skill. So I challenge you, parents. Like, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know you know something. I know something. And whatever you're really good at, in a positive way, keywords in a positive way, teach your children. Because it'll benefit them, and they will be proud that they learned it from you. We'll see you in the next episode. Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.